Okay, so I went on a date with this guy. I haven't dated for a while, but I gave it the chance because um I already knew him, so I thought,
Yeah.
we'll give it a go. So our first date was really good, to be fair. We went out for food, we went to an Italian, and then we did an escape room. And it was a very good date, and it was nice because I'd already knew him, so it was quite comfortable, you know?
Yeah, you're not stressing. It's,
Yeah.
you feel comfortable in his
Yeah, yeah.
presence.
And then it just all went downhill. I had 3 dates and that was enough.
Okay. So date number one was good.
Date number one was very good, yeah.
Okay.
So date number two, this is where it all went downhill. So yeah, date number two, we went to this place and we just like watched the sunset. So, and that was a really nice idea. You know, he had these like memory foam mattressy things, and he reversed onto the hill where like the sunset, and opened the boot. We put down these memory foam mattress things, and then I brought blankets and pillows. Right?
So cute. I
Cute.
love that
Yeah,
for a date
it was a great
idea.
idea. So yeah, we watch the sunset like that. Now, I can be quite rigid when I'm like first dating someone. My walls are very up high. I've talked about this before, and it takes me quite a while to sort of ease into someone, right? But I do know when I feel that moment when my walls start to come down, you know? So this was a bit of a scary date for me because it's very like heavily reliant on conversation based, which is fine. Like, I think I'm a good conversationalist, but it's the fact of like, it's quite an intimate date.
Yeah, it's very intimate. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was sort of, I can, and what I mean by I'm quite rigid is like, so when I'm sat next to him, I'm literally like this, like, don't touch me.
Oh my gosh. Could he sense that, do you think?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, yeah. So then we were talking and like, you know, he's asking me some questions that require, now I'm a very deep person. I've talked about this before, you know. I am a very deep person, and I need to have deep conversation with someone. I need them to be equally as deep and as open as me for me to be able to form a connection. But obviously that takes time, right? And I'm not going to spill my guts to someone that I've only met a few times.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
So I'm always mindful of giving too much away in the early stages. So yeah, so we're talking and he was asking me some quite deep personal questions and was asking me about my friend Tomasz, who obviously I've talked about before. And, you know, I will tell you anything, you know, if you ask me something, I'll give you a detailed response. And that is something that does require quite a detailed response. So I'm telling him about that. And within that obviously links my ex-boyfriend's aggression, and I told him about that story as well, which you'd have seen in the last episode. Now you know. So I was telling him about that. So I, halfway through me telling the story about Tomasz, I said to him, oh, like, just tell me to shut up if I'm going on, because obviously I don't actually want you to tell me that. I just want a little bit of reassurance in that moment to be like, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
And thankfully that was what he did. He was like, no, I'm just quiet because I'm listening. And I was like, oh, you know. And then I continued speaking about it. So then when I was finished, he then literally, as soon as I finished talking about it, made a joke about me doing all the talking.
No, he didn't.
Yes. And I literally rolled away from him. I thought, are you stupid? Like, how fucking stupid are you? The fact that, like, pick a better time. Like, I've just talked about something extremely vulnerable to you. I've also told you that that is something that I look out for.
Yeah.
Why on earth did you think that it was a good idea in that moment to then make that joke?
At that time.
At that time.
Another time, fair. But
Right?
like right at that moment in time.
Yeah.
Like, really? Come on.
Doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah.
And I just thought, I've literally told you that that's something that I look out for.
Yeah.
So I just thought, are you testing me to see if I'm actually switched on or what? But like, I just thought, how weird.
Very weird.
Right?
That's bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as he made that joke about me doing all talking, literally rolled away from him, and I went, didn't like that. And he was like, oh no, I was only joking. And I went, didn't like that. And he was like, I promise you I was only joking. And I just went, And do you know what? When I was telling that story, because I was being vulnerable, I felt my walls start to come down, and I felt myself sort of like relax, because I'm on fucking edge, right? Like, you know, where you just feel like you're like, what's the word? You know, when
Stiff.
you're stiff. That's the word. Yeah, I just felt like stiff.
Yeah.
You know, and when I was explaining that, I did feel my walls start to come down, and then the moment he made that joke,
Yes.
straight back up again, and I felt my walls instantly go boom, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I obviously, you know, we moved on from that, but like I still, you know, you think about it, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So after that, we then like finished the day, and then he drove me home, and then on the way home, he then spent the entire journey back talking about fighting random men in the street. Right.
God.
Now he does professional fighting, which is fine. So he does like kickboxing. He used to do kickboxing. I do kickboxing, so I get it. Right?
Was he talking about the professional fighting?
No,
though?
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So he was just talking about fighting men on nights out, right?
Ugh, so boring.
Yeah. Like I'm not impressed.
No.
And then I just went a bit quiet, and then I was like, has a woman ever hit you? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, have you ever hit a woman? And he was like, no. Not he went, well, yeah, but not intentionally.
So how?
And I was like, how do you unintentionally hit someone? And he was like, oh, well, I was having a fight with this guy, and his girlfriend got in the way of it and took the punch.
Fuck off. No.
And I was just a bit like...
So basically you've got no self-control, and if a girl steps in front, you're still going to carry on hitting.
It's just strange, isn't it? Like, that to me is really unattractive.
Yeah.
And a massive red flag, because I want someone who is a mediator.
Yeah.
I don't want an aggressor.
No.
I want a mediator. Someone who's going to calm, you know, use words and logic to like calm everything down.
Someone who can back themselves up though, if needed.
Yes, 100%. If needed.
But not to go in there all guns blazing, like fists flying. No.
Yeah. And obviously I've talked about aggression in a relationship before, and it is something that I look out for because I've had experience with that. So I then was silent after that for the whole rest of the way home, and he then says, well, that's not a good silence. And I went, like that. And I thought, I'm just going to let you sit in this for a bit, in this discomfort for a minute, because you need to understand. Do you know what I mean? So, like, what do you expect me to say? Oh, wow. Like, oh, wow. You know how to look after yourself. Like,
no.
Like, I'm not impressed by that. You know, it's not, I don't know any woman that would be impressed by that.
No, maybe if you're like 13.
Yes, exactly. Maybe if you're a child.
Yeah.
But not when you're an adult.
No.
So, and he's older than me as well, so I think, like, you should know better.
How old is he?
27?
27.
I think, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, literally silent the whole way home. And then as soon as we got home, I then got out the car, grabbed my stuff, and then I sort of leant my head into the doorway, right? And I just said to him, text me when you get home, but stop talking about fighting because you give me the ick.
Oh, good. At least you're honest with him.
Oh, I'm always upfront. And he was like, yeah, I thought so. I said, it's not something I'm impressed by, and aggression is not cool.
No.
And he was like, yeah, got you. Like, okay. And then I literally just shut the door, right? And I went back inside. And then I just thought, the thing is with me, I can be very upfront, maybe sometimes a bit too upfront, that it could come across as maybe a little bit rude. And I just thought in that moment, you know, as soon as I walked in the door, I thought, oh, I didn't really explain that very well. So I sent him a message afterwards. It took it really well. So I was like, cool, you know, like, he handled it. If he didn't handle it the way that he had, there wouldn't have been a third date. But, you know, I felt pretty good about how he handled it. So we went to Nottingham, and the first red flag straight away, driving like an absolute arsehole.
Yeah.
Anyway, we went to Nottingham. We then played bowling and played pool. So yeah, we did that, and then obviously we went home. So then driving home, he was telling me about his dog, and he was like, are you opposed to dogs? And I was like, no, not at all. Like, I do like dogs, I just would never have one because they are far too much responsibility. Otherwise I'd have a child. I was like, do you like cats? And he was like, I don't mind them. I said, well, why don't you like them? And he was like, oh, I've got some trauma surrounding cats. And I was like, oh, was you attacked? And he was like, no. He said that his cat had kittens, right? And the dog was never allowed upstairs. And one day the dog slipped by, got upstairs, killed all of the kittens.
Oh no.
Yeah. At first, when he told me that, I was like, oh, fucking hell.
Devastating.
And then I think, isn't that trauma relating to dogs really than cats?
Yeah.
Because like your dog did that.
Yeah.
I don't know. So then after that, he said that there was another time where he had, and you know, it's kind of like the saying, like, you don't make the same mistake twice. I know it's not the same thing, but like if something like that has happened, like a freak accident, you would be extra fucking cautious that shit would never happen again, right? Because the guilt you would feel, right? So he had another cat, and one day it got into the tumble dryer, and I was like,
how?
And I was like, oh my god. I was like, how? Like, what happened? I said, did it die? And he was like, well, yeah, it wasn't good. And I was like, what happened? And he was like, well, the cat's eyes were bulging out and it was having seizures. So he went, so I had to kill it.
No, he didn't.
So I had to kill it. Yeah.
Emily, no.
And I literally was like, like, what? And I was shocked, like, didn't say anything. I literally didn't say anything for a second. And I was like, how did you kill it? And he was like, I hit it. You know how I was silent the first time? I was just silent again because I just thought, how do you, like, I've already pulled you up on your aggression once. Why on earth do you think that it is a good idea to tell me about this on a third date?